Should we put the voice on for the whole podcast?
No.
Chase is against the voices.
No.
Which is disheartening sometimes.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, dear.
Welcome to Ohio.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Welcome to my shop.
There's nothing like driving 4.5 hours, getting out of your truck, setting up the podcast, and sitting down. Ready. Podcast.
Yeah, by the way, how cool was that to be able to just walk in and the podcast is already set up?
Oh, it was pretty nice.
You felt like you probably had a trailer out back.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It was great, actually. I'm actually excited to come here and hang out because I've been doing a lot of work. I've been busy, very busy recently with Badlands. So it's nice to be able to come and hang out and enjoy podcasting a little bit. As I was telling Kyle on our last trip, we just recently got back from Nashville with the release of the machines that we don't talk about on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a good trip. It was a great trip to Nashville. But I just felt like it was not the same not having you guys around.
It definitely was not the same.
It's not the same. And I'm bummed. Are you not going to club?
No, decided not to.
Bummer.
There's a few different things that went into that decision.
Yeah, I'm sure.
One of them was we're leaving next week.
Dude, point that thing right at your face.
This?
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yes.
There it is.
Oh, my goodness.
we are taking a family vacation the week immediately following club. So if I went to club, I'd leave on Sunday like you, be down there Monday, Tuesday, could fly home Tuesday, but probably be Wednesday. Then I'd be home Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we got to turn around and fly back to Florida for a little family vacation.
What?
Part of me was like, I should go to club and then just stay down there. But some of us have responsibilities that we got to take care of.
I don't know anything about that.
What's a responsibility?
But either way, I'm excited to be here and hang out because it's been too long, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's been too long. And I've been missing podcasting because I do enjoy it. I enjoy hanging out and chatting with everybody. And Ava's here.
Yep.
Welcome, Ava.
She's the guest of honor today.
Yeah, so
First time.
I don't want to just jump right into it, but the reason that we've decided to just go ahead and do this and the reason I've drove all the way to Ohio to see you guys this weekend is because you guys did something really special.
Historic.
Historic,
Never been done.
mind you. And you guys got to race the 24-hour race, and you had an all-girls team. So please, without further ado, tell me, how did it go?
Well, first of all, you said we got to race it. Like it's something that was like...
Well, I mean, not a lot of people get to do that. So let's just say you
Yeah.
did get to do that. I mean, I didn't race it.
I don't know if we were a participant or a victim, but we were there.
Yeah.
Both.
You did it.
Long races, about midway through, you feel like a victim. I'm
No.
sure it's not
First
good.
lap. First lap. Yeah, first mile in. That's how it felt.
The 12-hour would be a walk in the park compared to this. Like we were just getting started at 12 hours, weren't we?
Yeah. And
We were
I thought 12 hours flew by really fast.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It did. We had 3-hour stints from each girl, and it didn't go exactly to that. Like it's not gonna, of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was like reminiscing from the old times, you know. The closest thing I'd ever done to anything like that would be a King of Hammers race, like the 4400, where I think we were in the car for a little over 8 hours. And that was way more brutal terrain. Like it was tough. But this was kind of set up more like the Heartland Challenge. You remember the Heartland Challenge?
Oh, I remember the Heartland Challenge.
Did you
I
race the
remember
Heartland
throwing up in my helmet 3 times.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't have lasted 24 hours.
No, I'm not good at nighttime. I could race if it was 24 hours all daylight, I'd be fine. But something about the lights flashing at nighttime, like flashing on the trees and stuff, it makes me super nauseous.
Wait.
And I'm not even car sick.
So my experience
weird.
from being involved in the 24-hour race, there's 0 time when you go to pit. You know, like when you're racing, it's just like, even if you got to pee, you're peeing in your race suit.
Yep.
So did you ride around with a helmet full of vomit the whole time?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Dude, this is racing. You don't
Yeah,
stop
there's
to
no-
clean up the vomit.
There's no stopping.
You can't just like swap out a helmet?
I mean, you could, but I didn't have one.
Oh.
And I was Iron Manning the 12-hour race at the time. So it was just, you just got to keep going.
What 12-hour race was this? Or are you talking about the Heartland?
I'm
That's
almost certain this one was in Texas when they had it at, what was that racetrack that they had in Texas that was blowing up for a while? Everybody
Texplex.
Texplex.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a 12-hour at Texplex.
That was the same, basically the same series we just did, the 24-hour, but it was a 12-hour version.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
was it
24
dusty
hours
down
is
there for that
insane.
race?
It was super dusty.
So
Did not rain.
I hear
Yeah.
that dust can give you that motion sickness a lot worse because your lights are.
Yeah.
It
It may be
people
the
get
dust.
really like turned around and.
What up,
Hey.
dude? Look at this guy comes whipping in here in his underwear on a one wheel. Hey, you've been posting a lot about Kai lately.
Welcome to Kai's world.
Yeah, let me get into that for a
Yeah,
second.
tell me about Kai. We'll come back to the racing since Kai just joined us.
This is his birthday. Kai, you want to come over here and sit down for a second?
Come say hi. Look at this dude. This is completely normal, by the way.
But
This
yeah.
is
Every
his
day.
daily outfit, basically.
I love it.
Okay.
That's daily.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Tell
So-
us why you've been posting.
His birthday is in August. And I was just looking at some videos and I saw this video of Kai and I was like, you know what'd be fun would be to post a video every day of Kai up until his birthday, or I mean until I run out of videos, which is I got a lot of videos. He's kind of a wild kid, but it's been fun. There's been some pretty funny ones on, and
He is a unique boy. Let
He's
me tell
very
you what.
unique.
He every time he's around, there's no shortage of shenanigans.
right.
By the way, I didn't know what the word mocked means.
Mocked?
Yeah. Because I mocked my mom.
Why would you do that? Oh, I did see that video. I did see that video when you mocked her. That's funny.
Here, say
It's funny, but not funny.
Here, let's put
Wait, hold on. Yeah, how old are you turning, Kai? Why don't you tell us?
Sit up.
I'm going up to Black Bar. Kai.
How old are you turning?
I'm turning
Talk right here.
10.
10?
Yeah.
Holy cow, you made it to 10? That's crazy. All the videos your dad's been showing, it's surprised. You guys jumped in the ice-covered pond. I saw that video. What Scott, there was a video a long time ago that was like, I don't think it was like viral at the time per se, but there was a video that he did something and like everyone was talking about it. I might have even been at a racetrack at one point. You were younger.
I actually ran away from the camper and
That might have been it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't have a video of this. We were at Crandon, the one he's talking about. We were at Crandon, and I think he was maybe 2.5 or 3 years old at the time. And he somehow escaped the camper.
Well, you went out to race, and so Mom put Mia and Kai in the RV with their iPads and went to go watch you race. And whenever she came back, Mia was the only one left in the camper, and Kai left
nah, that's
Because-
not what happened.
because he got gum stuck in his hair, and he went to go find Mom to get the gum stuck
Nuh-uh.
or get the gum out.
I just wanted to see her. And
He just wanted to
I
see her.
walked up to the gate.
And you happen to have gum stuck in your hair.
Yeah.
And that was
Walked up to the
the security guard found him. He
Yeah.
had nothing on but a diaper,
And then
no shoes, no socks. Kind
Say-
of like his
Say it right now.
Yeah.
normal outfit.
Yep.
And yeah.
Kai, you are
He got
one of a
good
kind,
tongue
buddy.
lashing from the security guard, and she was just like,
Listen.
"Whatever, you have no idea."
Yeah,
what
listen,
that
he's
is."
fine.
Mm.
You have no idea. I envision Kai being like one of those guys that's just like, was it Tarzan? Like swinging from the trees,
Yeah.
you know? That's you. That's your life, dude.
no, it's not.
No? What is it then?
One meals,
Uh-huh.
sleep, and eat and drink.
Oh,
Okay. I like that. That sounds like a great life.
And 75% of it's fishing.
Oh, so you like to fish? All right. You have to take me fishing.
All right.
I like to fish.
You do?
I do.
You do?
I do like to fish, yeah.
You do?
This guy.
He's
You're mocking
messing with
me
you.
again.
He's
gotta
messing
look
with
up
you.
there.
You're mocking me again.
You gotta look up there.
What's up there?
A lot.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I look up all the time.
Are you talking about your fish? His face is. Are you talking about your fishing stuff that's in the loft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I thought he was trolling me.
He's on another wavelength.
I thought he was
Hey,
trolling
tell
me.
us a joke, and then we'll get back to racing. Me and Ava will talk about our race.
All right.
You have a good joke?
Yeah.
Talk right here.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
Because he wanted to get to the idiot's house.
What?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
You didn't finish it.
No, that's it.
No, you didn't say it. Bark.
That was a mic drop. That's
Mic
what that
drop.
was.
Bye, Kai.
Nice to see you.
That's sweet one wheel. Look at it. He just gets on it. He's gone.
He's gone.
Yep.
He's already gone.
You got your hands full with that boy. We'd like to take a quick break from the podcast to tell you guys about CT Raceworks. And I love CT Raceworks. I use it on all my race cars, including the drift truck. And the drift truck hit the wall twice today because of Chase. And it's still not broke. And we have more time to go out and ride and have fun. And you can too. Go on to ctraceworks.com. And upon checkout, put in the Our Day Off discount code, which will get you 5% off. And you might say to me, that's not enough, Matt. And I'll say, you're going to buy them anyway. Okay? Use the code, get a discount, and have some fun with your new CT Raceworks parts. And don't break your buggy. Back to the show. It's amazing. It's amazing to see him every single time. Just
an
wild.
adventure. Yeah, it's an adventure with him. He's a handful. He kind of does his own thing. All the kids are that way, honestly.
Yeah, tighten that baby up.
Yeah, tighten that thing. Really
Crank on it.
Oh my, man, who tightened this thing?
Oh, there it goes.
Clearly not
over
enough.
This is the funnest part of podcasting
Okay.
on different locations. Like, you just got to wing it.
Yeah.
I had these mic stands. I was like, we don't have tables that we can clamp our arms to. We're just going to have to put stands up, and hopefully
It works fine. Yeah, it works fine. I don't mind.
Okay.
We've talked about this many times. Everywhere we go, we're just impromptu. You know, it's not like we have a studio ever. We just have a bunch of stuff. And we're just like, that looks good. We'll sit up there, and we just like start bringing things over. We completely rearrange places.
Yeah,
every time
in the broom closet.
Yeah,
There's no excuses.
tire background,
Tires and parts.
the stuff. Broom closet. There's no such thing as a broom closet. All right, back to racing. 24-hour race. All girls. Who are the other girls? For one, let's start there.
It was, I think originally the people who wanted to do the race was Brooklyn and Kennedy Singleton. And they asked Gray to do it because she did the 12-hour with them. And then I think Gray and Banks were going to ask one of Travis's daughters who did the 12-hour with them, but apparently that was really scary riding with her. And they were like, we actually want to finish, so let's ask Ava because she hasn't raced in 5 years. So she's probably pretty
You were the safe
toned
bet.
down. Yeah.
I mean, you're a good driver anyway. You're not giving yourself not enough credit, so you're a good driver.
Yeah,
So
I drive every single day.
They chose you because you know how to drive, and your dad's a good driver too. So
Yeah.
and they probably needed a car.
Yeah.
No, they had a car. They were actually going to race a Segway.
Oh, really?
They had
yeah,
raced. The
that's right.
Singletons kind of have been in the Segway for a while, and it was all cool. I was happy with that. But then I got to thinking, man, we got all these X3s here. And I know 200 horsepower is better than 100 horsepower.
For sure.
Oh.
And the X3 is just such a proven platform.
Right.
I would choose.
I
the
know
X3.
X3s.
Yeah.
So if there's an issue that we need to fix, I should be able to fix it pretty quick.
And if
I
anybody's
don't know
got
Segways.
parts, it's
Yeah.
Scottie Lawrence
I got some parts.
to fix X3s.
There's plenty of parts right here, too.
So what was the toughest part about the 24 hours? Was it the length? Was it just the pure time, or was there other factors?
I don't know. I mean, any race in general is a challenge because you want to be able to go as fast as you can without breaking the car. That's kind of the challenge with side-by-sides. It's easy to go fast in them, but to go fast and not tear the car up is a
Right.
whole nother story. So short course, you race for 10 minutes, you just flat out the whole time as fast as you can go. Whatever happens, happens, and you're done. This type of race is a little bit different because not only do you have to keep the car together, but you got to keep a good pace. You got to, really pay attention the whole time because one lapse in concentration, there's a tree jumping out in front of you. There's a rock. Now, this course was at Famous Reading over in Pennsylvania. And the terrain, my thoughts was the terrain was going to be like the old roads and fire roads and access roads for the mine. And maybe a little bit of, crossing some water or something like that. I thought it was going to be pretty high speed, open and just kind of going, but it was not. Once we got there, we did a little tour. What was it called?
Poker Run.
Around, yeah.
So what did you think of the Poker Run?
I thought the poker run was super fun. The last time I did a poker run was, I don't know, 10 years ago. So I didn't really understand what we were doing, but
didn't we?
yeah,
did
I
that,
don't,
yeah.
I was just passenger princess for that whole thing, but most of it was just to see the track, and I was extremely surprised to see everything what I was not expecting. Like, the trails were super narrow in the woods in a lot of spots, huge rocks. There was there was just like a section that was probably like a half mile through the woods. There was just like a nice clearing in the woods, and there was nice grasses and stuff, and then there was just stumps like everywhere. So you have to avoid the stumps, and it was just like you think you can go a lot faster in this section, but you have to be careful because there's a stump right here and there's a stump right here. And it's just like I was not expecting anything that I saw on the poker run, and it was also super dusty. So yeah, we probably should have waited behind the line of people, but it was fun to get a little sneak peek before we actually went out there in the race.
So you got to drive the whole course before you got to.
Yeah,
That's
so
actually cool.
We started, and you could be in a Jeep, you could be in your race car.
Oh, we have to talk about that.
Oh,
We went on the poker run too with everyone, but we were in a was it a YK?
I don't know. It was a 4-door Jeep.
Oh,
That
Stock.
I had probably
Like bone stock.
maybe 30-inch tires.
Yeah.
Dude.
Street tires, maybe that tall.
We were riding the bump stocks all the time, like
Oh, yeah.
Bank said in the
But
video.
how many people were in the Jeep though?
There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people.
Yeah.
Two young boys in the back,
in a
just
stock.
bouncing off the ceiling. No,
For 11
it
miles.
was crazy. It was crazy.
So it was a 4-door Jeep.
Yeah.
So it was a JK.
JK.
We were dragging the frame on everything.
I love that.
Yeah.
They ended
that
up
thing,
calling
wasn't
us because they were back at the pits already, and they were like, "Where are you guys at?" And we're like,
Yeah.
"We're still out here. Like we're trying to get."
I think Banks said, we're driving like we're getting paid by the hour.
Yeah. Classic.
Well, it felt like we should have got paid by the hour for that. That was a rough ride.
It was.
Well, you don't really get to see the course very often in racing anymore. I think going back to GNCC days, we got to go walk it or ride it on a bicycle.
Yeah.
So not very often do you get to go drive it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hammers, obviously, you can do it. But other races, you don't get that luxury. You just kind of have to fly by the seat of your pants or walk it. So it's kind of cool to see it firsthand. And you said it was super dusty. And
Yeah, for the poker run.
The poker run.
poker run was dusty. And then
Yeah.
I just watched the YouTube video and it looked pretty rainy.
Yeah.
Did it?
I was grateful for the rain though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The rain was as dusty as it was. You wouldn't want to have been racing in the dust. The problem with the dust is the danger level goes so high.
For sure.
Not only like you think, oh, it's dangerous because you can't see where you're going, but honestly, I think the biggest danger is from running up on somebody that is going a lot slower than you, and then you hitting them from behind. Because you still have people that are pushing through the dust to try to race. Then you got some people that are slowing down because they know they just can't go that fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Usually your impacts happen from, you see it in races like the desert races in Baja all the time. It's people getting hit from behind in the dust.
Yep.
That's where the biggest danger is. But I was really grateful for the rain. I don't think Gray was grateful.
I don't
for the
know.
rain.
I was grateful that Gray took on the brunt of it because it was absolutely downpouring the race started at like 10:17 or something. That's when they took off. And I think it rained from like 10 a.m. to pretty much right until after. Was it after or before she got out of the car?
It was 24 hours long. I can't remember that
Okay.
much.
Yeah.
But it basically rained on her pretty much the whole time. And then when she got back in the car at 10 o'clock at night for another 3 hours, about 30 minutes into that, we got more storms coming through that were even worse. Lightning, I mean, some wind, pretty good wind, but the rain was it was coming down. So I think they actually stopped at one point because they just could not see to go.
It was just raining
Yeah.
It
so
was
hard.
raining so hard. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were wearing trash bags and all sorts of stuff, rain suits to try to keep dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
nightmare.
challenge. That was definitely a challenge. Just, trying to stay comfortable as a driver, but then being all soaking wet and, worrying about sliding into a tree or a rock. I think the biggest challenge too came from after about 12 hours and the second rain, the soil really started getting washed out and all the rocks that we were driving over were just seemed like they were getting bigger. They were just
Yeah.
getting more exposed. And so the holes were getting bigger. And tires were, you really had to take care of your tires. So
How many flats do you guys have?
I think we had 3.
Two, or was it 3?
Yeah, I think we had 3 total. Maybe 4. I think we had one
We had
that they
one.
caught when we went through the pits.
Yeah.
They caught it and it wasn't flat, but it was kind of
It was
going down.
long.
So we switched it real quick. But really overall, we only had 8 tires.
Yeah.
Which I was confident with because they were the Yokohamas. I mean, they were a tough MT.
Shout out Yokohama Tire.
Mhm.
Yeah, they hooked us up with the tires. And, the holes that we did find in the tires were just very little. As treacherous as the terrain was, we had competitors that were every lap they were coming in
Yeah.
for the first 10 laps. they were going through tires. I know the team that purchased the first starting position, I think they went through 12 tires
Holy cow.
in just one spot on the car. So maybe they were hitting the same thing over and over.
You'd think you'd learn after about the first 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Holy
I remember
cow.
one of them being
Especially
a
if
sidewall
you-
slice, right? So the sidewall was opened up, and I seen John over there taking a regular patch kit
Oh yeah.
and just shoving those fibers into this sidewall. And I was like, does that work? He was like, I don't know, but we got to try.
I mean,
might
it worked
need it.
good enough because we put
We
it on the
finished
front
the race in
driver's
it.
side. Yeah.
Oh, you
It
put
was-
the tire back on the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. There's been so many times where we just shove those patches, like a wad of those, the ones that you rip off. They're like a little,
Yep.
about that long, little strip patch, and just keep shoving them in a tire, and they hold. It's amazing what they'll actually do. So, hey, in a race like that, there's no such thing as give up. You got to keep
No.
trying.
Right.
So to his point, that's right. We got to try.
You got to try, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything could happen in a race that long. You might be down 4 or 5 laps, but what happens if the team that's in the lead blows a front diff or busts something that keeps them trapped in the woods for an hour, and then they got to get drugged back to the pit? That was something unique about this race, is that they gave us the opportunity to fix stuff, whether it was on the trail or in the pits. You could even get help being towed back to the pit because it was a loop. And if you could fix your vehicle and get back out on the track, you could basically resume your lap. So I appreciated that, because some of these races, like Hammers, for example, you go out on the course. If you break on the course, no one can bring you parts except for other competitors. And this was a loop race, so we did 30 some laps. There's multiple opportunities for a team to come by you, so you can say to another guy, hey, will you take this axle out there? And a lot of times people will help you. That's the nice thing about off-road racing and side-by-side. It seems like the community kind of wants to help each other. For our situation, when we lost a shock, we actually got a hold of some good old redneck homeboy out there, and he bombed through the trails in this old Honda that, he had a.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. It was really
You got
crazy.
to ride with him.
So I was in the pits when we got the call that you guys lost your right rear shock. And then so it was like kind of like scramble. We got to scramble. Banks is taking off the parts car shock. And then we had to find someone else who could take us out there. Obviously, our parts vehicle was down, so we couldn't use that because we're taking a shock off of it. So we found this good old boy who's sitting there drinking Budweiser. And I was like, hey, man, can you take us out to the trail? And he's like, yeah, I know the place like back of my hand. Hold on, let me grab another beer. And so
He had,
We're
to,
like,
he had to get
okay.
supplied up.
Yeah.
all right. So we hop in, and Banks is in the bed. It's not like got 4 seats, it's 2 front seats in a bed. So Banks is in the bed with a Badlands jack, shock tower, and some tools. And we're going down the trails at probably about 45, 55 mile an hour. Rocks. This thing's got probably 3 inches of suspension travel. We're going up and down in the rocks, and it was, I was afraid. I'm holding on to that A-pillar like,
You were afraid? How about Banks in the bed?
I don't know. I couldn't see him. It was motion blur in the back. He was just going boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was really crazy. But it was really cool to be able to do that, to go out there and like, hey, all right, we got something broken, take them the parts, get out there, fix it, get them back on the race.
Yeah, I like that a lot better. I'd much rather you come in. I'd much rather be able to go out and fix the vehicle and like hang out and have a good time.
Yeah, it kept us in the race.
Yeah,
and
you
it's like,
and then what would be the alternative? You're just stuck
Right,
out there
load up and go
forever
home.
and go
Yeah,
home. That's dumb.
to do something like this, I think to keep people involved, like you got to give them the opportunity to fix their car.
For sure. That's always kind of one thing I've talked about with certain people about King of the Hammers, and I understand the point the other direction is. King of the Hammers is such a big race, and there's so many people that the opportunity to cheat is much higher per se. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So like,
sure.
how do you watch every person on track and see what they're doing? Now, I mean, trackers are getting a little better, throughout the years. So, I mean, that could change a little bit. But that's one of my biggest hangups with Hammers is you can't, you're limited to you fixing your own car with like walking back to pit and getting it, which
And
is
that
sometimes I have done it.
Yeah.
I've been that guy. I've ran back miles to pit to get an axle and hike all the way back out to Aftershock and change an axle, so it's like things happen. It can be done. But I think it would just be so much better if you had like a pit crew that could, it's not somebody you would ever have like on course, but just somebody you could radio back to and say, hey, bring me a shock, bring me an axle, bring me something. And maybe that person still isn't allowed to touch the car, but can bring you the parts and the tools to fix the car. I think that is doable. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's just a qualm that I've always had with hammers.
The thing about hammers, that race has gotten so competitive that in order to win that race, you have to have a perfect day and you got to be really fast. And so I think it's one of those things where with the 24-hour race, just being able to finish a 24-hour race with one car, whether you have to fix it or not, that's an accomplishment.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
With hammers, you know, we're talking about it's gotten down to a 3.5 to 4 hour race now. And to win, you got to have a perfect race. And I think it's, you know, there's really, I guess there's some people that are shooting for, hey, that top 10. So they want to get that finish. But even then, to get in the top 10, the chances of you being able to break and then fix something on the trail and then still have a chance, it's pretty low nowadays. And you know, I think you got to keep things simple. You know, you start introducing, oh yeah, you can go out there and fix it. You're going to have people with helicopters flying parts to their guys pretty soon, you know. So I think it's okay for a big race like that to keep the standard of show up, do your best, win, lose, or break, you're done.
Yeah, I remember when hammers used to be a survival race. You know, it was hours and hours you're out there surviving through the rocks, and now it is a sprint race.
For sure.
For the side-by-sides.
Well,
Last year was the first year that they've made 4,400 worth doing.
last
Actually,
year
it was like
amazing.
16. Wasn't it like 16 hours and there were maybe 4 or 5 finishers?
I think there was only 2 official finishers.
Okay.
If I don't quote me on that.
Like in the time limit.
In the
Yeah.
time limit,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's last year was how hammers should be, in my opinion.
I think so.
In my
I think
opinion.
it was awesome.
It should be to the point, especially for 4,400. I'm not saying that it should be for every class necessarily, because it would just come to the point where no one wouldn't even race it, I
So
think.
what about this idea? Because hammers has gotten to be what it is, the drivers, if you're a side-by-side driver, you're there. Like if you're trying to do it just for fun and you're serious about it, or if you're a factory driver, you're there for hammers. Like it's the race to be at. When are they going to add a third lap for UTVs? For just the pro class, just like they do right now for 4,400, it's a 3-lap race. They could definitely say the top tier class, pro turbo, whatever they call it, you know, the big boy class. I think it's time to make that race longer, partly because the equipment now is getting to be such a high level that it can handle it. And I think I don't want to say it's become easy, because it's really not easy, but getting through that UTV track, which is one desert loop and one rock loop, I don't think it's as challenging as it used to be because the equipment is so much better.
It's not. That's exactly what I was just saying. Is it used to be a survival. It used to be survival race when you were racing with, very limited machines and limited parts. And now, I mean, the guy who's won it most has just walked in the building, and I mean, he's finishing these races in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's become a sprint race. It's become
For sure.
who has the most money in their machine and who can go the fastest.
Yep.
It's no long like there's. I race at single seat. I don't even, you're to the point now where you're thinking, do I even need the other guy? It's 150, 160 pounds lighter, depending on how heavy your guy is, so that's where I was going with it. I was like, if I can make the car lighter, it's inevitably going to last longer, less fuel, like why wouldn't I just race it by myself? It's not
Exactly.
hard. I'm
Right.
getting out maybe once or twice if I had to winch.
Yeah.
And with the year that I got on the podium with Kyle and got third, I never even got out of the car.
Right.
I literally
So
got
why
in the
have
car
another-
to
why
start
have
line
another-
and got out at the finish line. It's like, why do I even bother having a person in the car at this point? So,
That's a
I'm
valid
with
question.
you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think some of the pro guys would probably agree with you. I think no one wants to go out there and race something super easy where they're just finishing it like that. They want to make it hard for everybody.
And to be fair, I mean, I wouldn't say it's easy, but I think if this is your craft and you practice it and you get out there and you know how to attack these rocks, you've done it multiple years before, I think it's acceptable to elevate the challenge to the level that the vehicles are at.
I agree.
So I think it'd be cool to see a third lap.
Well, I mean, just to further facilitate our argument is you got UTVs now winning 4,400 class. So, pretty.
Yeah, and a stock P-word turbo boost like out the factory is pushing 275 horsepower, 2-liter engine.
Yeah, I mean they're just getting faster.
Oh, they'll
and
be
faster.
racing at 300 wheel horsepower.
all day. I mean, they already are. Everybody
Yes.
already is.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay,
So
but
yeah.
back to Ava. I want to talk about some situations that you were dealing with when you were racing, and Gray also mentioned it too. It was like physically a challenge for you during your race. Can you talk about like what does that feel like and what was happening?
Greg called it the heart chatters, I think. But basically, he was kind of explaining it to me as like you're just having so many small little impacts, like right one after another, and it's kind of knocking the air out of you, and you're not breathing heavy enough, and so you're just like your heart starts to feel like you're almost going to have a heart attack, or you're having heartburn, like extreme heartburn or something. And I was kind of thinking like, Gray's struggling with this. Like, this is kind of a funny thing for Gray to struggle with. And then I got humbled by it when I got in the car for the first time. And then I really got humbled by it whenever we got in the car at like 4:30 in the morning or whatever. Within probably 3 miles of the first lap, like I was struggling. Like it was difficult to breathe. And I was just like, I don't want to just give up and be like, all right, Brooklyn, you have to get back in the car. Kennedy, like, please, somebody help me. Somebody fill in for me because this is difficult. But
she was
I was
fighting
fighting
back tears.
tears.
I know she
Yeah.
was. She's my daughter.
Yeah.
I can tell when she talks how she's feeling.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad for her. And I don't know exactly what I was saying during the race, but I know one thing I was saying a lot was just breathe deep.
Yeah.
When it's smooth, you need to take deep breaths, fill your lungs with air, let your blood get, fill back up with oxygen.
And it's not even really that, I don't think that like improved the pain or anything like that. It just made it a little easier to breathe whenever you were going through sections where you couldn't take a full, deep, consistent breath. And
I think a lot of people experience that because
I was gonna ask because you guys have experience. In
I've
race car.
100% felt that before.
Yeah.
I
You
know
know what that
exactly
is.
what she's talking about.
Okay.
It's a weird thing to describe, but like she said, it feels like it's your heart, and it could be your heart, getting knocked out of rhythm a little bit because the chatter bumps at this race got to be so bad that if you were going speed at all, it was just a constant, just jarring. And I actually, after the race was over, I even thought, man, I wish I would have just brought a completely stock set of shocks with me because they're so much more plush than race shocks. They would have absorbed some of that stuff and we wouldn't have been able to go as fast in the corners. It would have been rolly more, but we weren't going the speed that we needed that suspension for that. Yeah. It was more of a survival thing. So that's something that we definitely learned. Next time, we're not going to have nearly as rigid of suspension.
Yeah.
It'll help smooth that stuff out. And I mean, a race like this, 24 hours about survival, I really think you could take a bone stock right off the showroom type car, put on some things like heavy duty tie rods. I don't even think you need to change the arms really. You could make it through a 24-hour race, and then some stuff like the arms and trailing arms and some other improvements would make the car tougher so you could hit things a little bit harder and not break. But just to make it through the 24 hours, a stock car is fine. It would have been more comfortable than the race car.
So is that something like, first, is that something exclusive to that type of terrain that you have to worry about? And then can you set up your car? Because I don't think a lot of people think about that when it comes to racing. It's like, obviously the car's capable, right? But how do we make the experience more comfortable for the driver?
Yeah, driver comfort is, to me, kind of getting away from the driver's seat and like working with a lot of people that are doing a lot of racing and driving. The thing that I notice is like if the driver isn't comfortable, being able to go as fast as the driver can go is not possible because they're thinking about something else, or they're just thinking about the seat jabbing into them, or the harnesses aren't right, or what. And I like to just jump in a car and like whatever I was given or whatever I had before me at the time, that was not the time to try to figure it out. That was race time. So you just focus, go as fast as you can with what you have, and then try to improve it later. But I think for the next time we do something like this, driver comfort is going to be very high on the priority list.
Yeah.
There's been multiple times when I experienced that exact thing. And it's in my efforts to try and mitigate it, I've found that being strapped in tighter helps me personally. And believe it or not, I wear a dirt bike kidney belt. Like if I was going to race a 24-hour or long race at Hammers, I wear a kidney belt, a dirt bike kidney belt. And a dirt bike kidney belt is something that goes underneath your race suit, and it is basically like a chastity belt. Like it holds you tight. Like it holds you in really tight, because you don't realize it. But if you're not tight enough, your whole body's jiggling. Like you're just imagine everything shaking, vibrating constantly.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's actually throwing anything out of rhythm, like necessarily your heart, but you're just jostling all of your insides constantly. So it's basically like take everything and just shake it constantly.
Yeah.
So if you can do everything in your power to hold yourself together without making it hard to breathe, that's the key. That's like the give and take. Is like some people are claustrophobic that I've found, because every time I get in the car, I'm yanking. Like I'm so tight into that seat where I am not moving. The only thing that's moving is my legs and my arms. That's it. Everything else is tight. Head, neck, all of it, because I like to be one with the vehicle. It feels like it holds me tighter. I don't necessarily get that chest pain or that gut pain. I know exactly what you're talking about. The tighter I can be, the better. And I don't know if that's true for everybody, but it just seems to work better for me.
Yeah,
I
try
still
to
get it.
strap my harnesses down as tight as possible, but it's just a point where like it doesn't really go anymore. So
Yeah. So anything you can get, like a compression, anytime you can get some sort of compression to help hold you together, it feels like it's.
Well,
it
have you
helps.
seen those videos of like jet fighter pilots or a passenger? They kind of train them on like when you're doing like high G's, you kind of like have this special way of breathing, like you almost like clinch.
Yep.
And kind of blow out, but not blow out. Just kind of like tense the core. But obviously you can't do that for 24 hours straight or like the whole time you're racing. So I just wonder if there's aside from a kidney belt, is there a way to mitigate that?
I think breathing helps. To Scott's point too, it is important. Breathing is important, because when you're so laser focused on the task at hand, you forget, and you'll catch yourself. I bet you if you wore like a monitor or like an Apple Watch, it'll tell you how much you quit breathing.
Oh yeah.
And there's been times where, long time ago in the past, we would race long distance races, and I would catch myself getting like, not like I was going to pass out, but queasy. Like, why am I feeling like my eyes are like like getting tunnel vision? I feel like queasy. And I found myself, I was like, oh, I'm not breathing. Like I'm physically holding my breath for a long period of time, because it was so rough that when you hold your breath, when you go and you hold that tightness against your belts, it doesn't hurt as bad. Did you notice that? Like when you take a deep breath and hold it, it's like, oh, relief. Well, then I forget to breathe out, and you're just like turning purple in the car. So it's like, if you can do something to help hold yourself together and still breathe, like relaxed breathing, it does help. It's hard. It's tough. Everybody's like, oh, it must be nice. You're just strapped in. I race dirt bikes. It must be cool racing a side by side where you're just sitting in there steering. I'm like, okay, try it once. Hop in the passenger seat even being that, racing Hammers as a passenger, it's not easy.
No, and these big races, typically the highest performing drivers they're in pretty dang good shape.
Right.
They just didn't just jump in a car and decide they wanted to go fast. Like it takes some training and practice mentally too, to be able to remember, just breathe, relax. And when you get more comfortable in a car, you've been in it, you know what's going to happen when you hit certain things. You get more comfortable with off camber and you start to relax. Then things start to work better. But the way this terrain was, I know that I don't know there was anything, because I was even experiencing it some. I'm like, man, I got to really make sure I keep breathing, because the rocks, these are probably rocks the size of, I don't know, suitcases, but they're stuck in the ground so they don't move. And as every little bit of rain that came and all the cars driving over, it just started exposing them more and more. And I mean, it felt like washboard. It was worse than washboard, because it wasn't even consistent. At least in the desert, when you have whoop sections or you have a lot of braking bumps, it's fairly consistent. This was just, you were all over the place. You're getting shook around. There was very few places that were smooth and fast. And the rest of it was just rough and brutal and tough on a car.
How long was the course?
11 miles.
Oh, so 11 miles is like arguably pretty short for 24 hours. How long were your lap times?
38-ish.
Yeah.
Something like
So I think the fastest lap time of anybody that was there was like during the day, and then this is when the guys were really pushing. And I think they got into the 20, just cracked into 26, maybe
24, 26.
24 minutes.
Mhm.
But
That's fast.
yeah, I think so. I was in the car with Ava the whole time, and I was pushing her pretty hard.
Yeah,
Um,
I would never have gone even close to as fast as what we went unless he was my passenger. And I just told him too, I was like, I don't really know what I'm getting into with this, so I'd appreciate it if you just told me what to do every single second. Like, I don't want to be thinking like, should I go? Should I brake? Should I check up? Like, I just tell me what to do because I don't want to have to think about it. And I think Chase was listening to the on-car audio because he made the video, and there was not 5 seconds where he wasn't saying something.
No. Yeah, it was pretty much him talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a
I got a lot to say.
that's a big job though. That's a big job to be not only in the passenger seat but also calling out every motion. Jeez.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
be I
It was
go
a blast.
crazy.
So to be honest with you, I mean, it was so much fun
Yeah.
because we weren't in the car for 24 hours.
Right, exactly.
I wish we could have drove a little bit longer, but I just know where she was at physically. Like, we were probably going to wreck if we went another lap because of the pace that I was trying to keep her at and just how dangerous the course was. The section she talked about with the tree stumps, there was places to pass on this course, but when you would get into the woods, it was one line, and a lot of people were describing it as a fast trail ride, and that's pretty much what it was. You were in the woods. There was nowhere in the woods to pass in these tight sections. And if you wanted to think, oh, I'm going to get around this guy and take a risk and get off in this open area, you're probably going to hit 3 or 4 stumps that are just high enough to rip your arm off or to go up through the bottom of your car or something and really do a lot of damage. Couldn't take those risks.
Yeah.
And luckily we had really good competitors that were polite. I mean, as soon as they would come up on us, we'd find a spot to get over. One thing that I talked about all the drivers with before the race was we're here to finish this race first and foremost. And we're also going to try to compete as hard as we can at the level that we can, but we're not going to hold people up, like be polite, which is in these long races, you typically have that, the slower drivers, the slower teams, you get out of the way, you respect the just for the competitive nature of it. You don't want to hold that other team's race up. And everybody did great taking care of the car. Hopefully if we get to do this again, hopefully I didn't come off to the other drivers as like, just go as slow, don't break the car because we don't want to fix it. Like, that really wasn't.
No, I don't think you came off.
Yeah.
Like that.
I wanted the girls to go fast as they're comfortable with. But the biggest thing I wanted to impress on them was this is a 24-hour race. Taking a risk to gain 10 seconds or something like that, it's absolutely not worth it.
Right.
And I think everybody did great. I know Gray is definitely a faster driver than what the lap time she put down. But when you look at the conditions that she had to race in, I don't think that she could have went any faster and got the car back to the pit. Ava actually ended up having our team's fastest lap, which was in the 32-minute range. And we were able to stay around 35 or under there pretty good. And I think if we had a little bit better conditions, I think Gray probably could have landed in the 30-minute range, maybe even a little bit better. But she just there was no grip when she was racing. So you couldn't accelerate. You couldn't slow down. You just had to basically cruise and not wreck the car. And then once we kind of got to that 12-hour mark and was like, all right, we're here. We got another 12 hours. Now let's continue to take care of the car and really focus. And we kind of settled on if we can average 40 minutes a lap with pit stops and everything, that would put us at 36 laps. And that was kind of our goal. I think we might have hit 35 or 36 laps right there. So the plan worked out great. The car had literally one failure the entire race, and it was such an odd failure. Can we kind of talk about that a little bit? Like when we were driving along, like we didn't even do anything crazy, but we were coming up over a little bit of a rise, and there's really good video of this. Chase captured it all really good. It wasn't even that difficult of a section, but then the back of the car just dropped.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was I can explain how it happened or what I did to make it happen, but basically the bottom part of the shaft pulled out of the eyelet that was bolted into the trailing arm. And we just like you said, we slammed the ground, and I figured I don't even like our tire blew off or something, and he was just like, all right, get up to this flat spot, go up here. And I was so confused on what was happening and trying to just comprehend like what just happened. Like the car just slammed the ground, and I'm just like, I just like slammed the gas. And we went up into the woods and pulled off to the side. And then we walked backwards toward the trail to find the rest of the parts for the shock, because obviously the spring it flew off, and I think a few spacers and stuff like that too. But luckily we had a bag full of some tools and a few extra belts in case the belt blew and someone had to change it on the course. So we got a few tools out and started taking the broken shock off. And once Banks and Chase and that good old boy got out there to us, they just jacked it up, and we got ready to get back in the car. And I think by the time they put it in, we were pretty much strapped up and ready to go. So it was a quick fix for such a weird thing, but it was
we
it was
lost
definitely
pretty
interesting.
much a half hour. Our
Yeah.
previous lap was 32 minutes, and that lap was an hour and 2 minutes, and that included the driver change. So, 30-minute for a big failure like that to be able to, and where we failed on the course was the furthest point from
Yeah.
the pits.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
So for us to have that failure and to pretty much, we lost a lap basically is what we lost with that 30-minute downtime. It was such a weird failure that we've never really ran limit straps on stuff. And I know that would have prevented this or at least helped with it. But pretty much like she said, the shaft just pulled right out of the eyelet, and which is so unusual because there's really no downforce other than the springs pushing on that. So it could have been a failure from something else that just weakened it enough that started to fail. And who knows? It's hard to say, but that's what happens in races. You have failures. So
For as long as you've been in racing, I feel pretty accomplished to have broken something you've never seen broke before.
you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Good job.
I
So
do think
is that
too.
threaded? Is
Yeah,
that
it's
is
just-
that a
it's
threaded
just
part?
threaded on there.
So I wonder if that thread just got loose over time. I think I was telling Chase this. It
Oh,
just
yeah.
wasn't seated for some reason, or maybe the Loctite came loose or something, and it was just kind of wallering out those threads over time, especially since the track was so bumpy
Yeah.
and brutal all the time.
Yeah.
That is just in there, just bouncing to death, and finally it just rips the threads clean out.
After thinking about it, so all these, like this car, this is the car right here. This car was raced in Nitrocross for 2 years with the same shocks.
Mm.
So we spent, I would say, probably 40 hours going over the car, upgrading a few things and checking it out and servicing it and prepping it. But that's something that I didn't even think to check, like check the eyelets on the bottom of the
Yeah,
shock.
why would you? Yeah.
Why would you? We've never done that.
It's going on the
And
list
so,
now.
it could have been something where it took a shot in a race 2 years ago and, the thing got knocked a little loose. Like you said, it just messed the thread up. And then as brutal as the course was, just that constant beating, we would hit a water puddle and nothing but steam would come up over the front of the car. And we don't have the radiator in the front of the car. That's the water hitting the shock bodies and reservoirs and just creating a
Oh
cloud.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was crazy. When we helped you fix that shock tower in the trail and I picked up the parts, that shock
yeah.
was still too hot to touch.
Oh yeah. There's a video, and I think me and BJ actually touched on the podcast. There's a video of BJ Baldwin back in the day, and they were shock tuning and testing with Kings out in the desert, and he was running this gnarly whoop section back and forth. He gets out of the car, and the camera guy walks up to him, and he's trying to ask him something. He goes, "You want to see something cool?" He cracks his water bottle and he dumps it on the reservoir of the shock, and it just instantly vaporizes it.
Yeah.
Gone. That's how hot the shocks get. And like to your point, I mean, it was raining and still got that hot.
Well, when we were in the car, it wasn't like it had let up pretty good. So we were able to push pretty hard.
Oh, okay.
The car was working. It was working really hard. And when I knew that it was working hard is when we would hit those water puddles after about the second lap, and we started getting steam in the car. And I was like, dang, like these shocks are getting hot. And it actually was one of those things I never even thought about changing the shocks out. But at the 12-hour mark, I was like, we have the parts right
Yeah.
here. Instead of just letting this go, because think about the oil and the shock for 12 hours. I mean, we race a 10-minute race in short course, and the shocks work really hard. We get maybe a couple hours of track time for the whole season of short course, and then we're sending the shocks out to get reworked.
Yep.
These things were just taking the hardest work that they could possibly have, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I feel like I'm being watched.
Please smile.
Someone's watching you.
There's a child.
Tarzan's
At least
behind
he's
us
got
again.
shorts on now.
That makes sense. But yeah, it was, that tells you how hard the suspension was working, and a little bit of looseness in that. It just worked itself until it said, bye-bye.
Yeah, now that you say that, and you were talking earlier about running just like a stock set of shocks, I wonder if even a stock set of shocks could take that much abuse. You'd almost have to have a built set of shocks, maybe just built on the softer side.
Yeah.
Because the valving and stuff in stock shocks, I don't even know if they'd handle that for that long. 24 hours is insane.
Yeah, the thing about, I always compare it to hammers because that's the hardest thing that I've ever done in racing, riding out there in hammers, at least being in the car. And this race, it was definitely harder on the car than driving through the sand, driving through whoops. You have so much more time. The motion of the wheel is captured over a much longer period of time compared to this race, how it was just little impacts over and over, and it was nonstop, just constant. And the shocks just got to the point, I would safely say that they were 250 degrees.
Wow.
Because when we took the shock off, like he was saying, 30 minutes after we pulled the shock off and they picked up the parts to take back to the pit, it was still, you couldn't grab the shock. It was burning your hand.
Wow.
And so I don't remember what I grabbed. It was like 2 or 3 rags or something. And I was able to put it on the top and at least get it out of the car and throw it on the ground without getting myself burned. But it was pretty impressive that nothing else on the car honestly broke down.
It's pretty awesome.
It was
That's a
wild.
testament to going through the car before you go racing, making sure it was all dialed in. Was there anything on the car that you found before you went that you were like, ooh, good, glad we looked?
There was honestly a lot of little stuff, things that I would run a short course race in, but for a 24-hour race, I was like, no, we're not even chancing that. It doesn't make sense. Just lots of little things that you tighten up and, just try to make it as secure as possible. And then at the 12-hour mark, we came in, we were doing wiggle tests, shake tests. We were checking things out. Sam caught, when the shock came off the first time for us, it must have knocked the wire going to the oxygen sensor off of its little clip because it was hanging down. And luckily it wasn't just laying on the exhaust. It was kind of like hitting the exhaust. You'd hit a bump. And we came in for a pit stop one time and Sam saw, he was shining the lights on the car and he saw the wire hanging down and the sheath was gone on it. And it was just kind of resting against the exhaust. It had melted through the outer protective layer and it had gotten down to the wires for the oxygen sensor. 1 or 2 more laps and we would ended up getting a check engine light for the oxygen sensor, and we probably would have been maxed out at 5-10 miles an hour. We wouldn't have been able to make up the hills. To find the problem, to just have a check engine light and be like, well, what's wrong? It's nearly impossible to figure it out. So we would have had to take the computer out there, or it would have been bad. And that's part of having a good team. Everybody was there. We had a great time. It was the first time our entire family, except for the 2 little ones, were able to kind of participate and get in. Eli and Sam were in the pits,
changing tires,
having fun, laughing.
Yeah.
It was a great experience for the family, and it was even better for me because I got to be a co-driver for Ava and kind of, I'm a pusher kind of, and I try to push people to do their best.
Kind of is, yeah.
And it's like, I wanted Ava to do her best, and I knew what she was capable of. And, if we would have wrecked it, it would have been my fault for sure.
I don't know. I'm glad that you knew what I was capable of, because I did not think I was capable of those those like 32, 34-minute laps. Like, I'm telling you, my lap times would have been like 50 minutes.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, after the Poke run, especially, I was like, oh yeah, this is just going to be like a trail ride, 24-hour trail ride.
Not with Scottie Lawrence in the car.
He wasn't going to let that happen.
You know what? Maybe, and you can tell me if this is okay or not, but I'm thinking about like posting an extended cut of the in-car, because I captured so much in-car footage.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be a great learning experience for people to hear from a professional race car driver's perspective of how to call out the terrain and what you're looking for. Because I mean, I know I'm not a race car driver, but I noticed at a few points, like when he would call something out to you, it made sense,
Yeah.
you know, based on the racetrack.
Well, I don't know about that because I actually got pretty frustrated with him a few times because he would tell me something. He would be like, it would be like on a downhill before a water puddle. And he'd be like, go, 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 check out. I'm like, what do you want me to do? He doesn't want me to slam the water, but he also wants me to go until the last point that I can go before the water comes over the top of the car and soaks us. And then sometimes there was a section, I think, through like right before he got to this big open meadow where you could go actually pretty fast. And then there was a ditch that if you were going as fast as consistently across the whole trail, you would have hit that ditch really hard. And I was just confused. Like I would have hit that ditch really hard, but he noticed it, and it was deep enough where it would have caused a problem. And he was able to just tell me like, you need to check up for that or just hit your brakes a little bit. And
I think some of that too is knowing what the car is capable of as well.
I was
So-
just going to say that.
Yeah. I know what the car can do, and I know what she can do. And so I there was also a spot where the first two times I think we hit this creek crossing, you checked up for it. And when we came around the next time, I was like, all right, like we're slowing down too much. I was like, you need to sweep this corner, get pointed up the hill, and don't lift.
Yeah.
And actually once we got out of the car, because sometimes in a car when you're screaming along and it's bouncing around, it's hard to give real clear instructions. And so you try to say whatever is like the most important. But then once we would get out of the car, I could take time and explain her, this is what I mean when I say go, 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 stop. Like there should never, in racing, there's no coasting.
Yeah.
Coasting is giving up leaving time on the track. In this race, you kind of had to make some compromises because it's such a long race. But what I was trying to teach you was, go fast when you can go fast and slow down when you have to slow down.
Yeah.
But there's no go fast, and then slow down for 3 times the distance that you need to slow down. That's why they put brakes on the car, and that's why they make new parts like brake pads and rotors. It's okay to wear them out in a race,
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that makes it hard to give advice while you're moving, because by the time you've explained the advice, the moment's already gone.
It's past.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure. And these cars are so great and so amazing, and the brakes do work so well that it is hard for people to grasp. So when you said that, without me even knowing the context, I knew exactly what you were saying from a racer's standpoint, because I do this now when I'll hop in with somebody and ride with them, especially if they think they're fast. And then we go for a fast drive and I'm like, you're not even close. Like, you don't understand race pace. Like, there's no coasting. You're on the gas or you're on the brakes hard to the point where you feel like you're going to fly through the front of the car. Like if you're flying down a trail and you know that there's a turn left and you have to almost come to a complete stop to make the turn, I'm on the gas to the point where I'm like, oh, might not make the turn. Like there's a fine line of like, hope these tires grip.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, I'm in the bushes. And that's where you have to
blow a berm every now and then.
And that's where you have to be. Like if you're not there, if you're watching, if you're not to the point where you're like going into every corner or every obstacle, either full gas or full brake, and kind of having a mini panic attack whether you're going to make it or not, you're not racing fast enough.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's just, there's a whole nother level. When you think you're fast, there's faster.
There's levels to it in there.
Yeah. And the faster you go, the scarier it gets.
Yeah.
Yep. And
So
it's fun.
I was sitting over in the seat wanting to go at this level, and I have my driver over here wanting to play at this level.
Yeah.
And they
We made
and the
some
driver
compromises.
and the driver thinks they're going super fast. They're like, well, I'm already pushing. What more do you want from
To
me?
them, it feels like it is.
Exactly my point. And I'm like, I'm not, I recently had just happened. I'm like, I'm not trying to like micromanage your driving or anything. I'm just saying you can go faster and you can use the brakes more. That there should be on or off switch.
Yeah.
I know it sounds counterproductive sometimes, but you want to be on the gas or on the brakes.
So, Ave, here's a little pop quiz. How hard should you push the brakes?
As hard as you can.
Okay.
1,000 miles an hour.
I like him.
But what should happen to the car when you use your brakes appropriately?
It should slow down or tell
Well,
them to
that's true
stop.
too, but more specifically,
Slide.
we talked about this after one of our sessions, and she might have been too exhausted.
Your brakes should lock up. I don't
Your
know.
brakes should not lock up. Your brakes should do everything except lock up.
Yeah, I
If
don't
you
know
lock
what
the
it is.
brakes, then you're gonna slide.
Yeah, I've
and
done that before.
You have. You can't control a slide.
Mhm.
You can't steer a slide, but you can steer a rotating tire. So it's, that was one of the things. We had so many learning things of opportunities, and that was something where I could tell like she just was using too much brake, especially in the woods. Would be going down a hill, and she'd use the brakes too much to
Yeah.
where she's locking the tire up. And when you hit a rock or something sticking up with a tire that's locked up, all that force has to go somewhere, and it goes right through your drive line. Well, you want to use the brakes if you're trying to slow the car down enough to where you're slowing the car down, but you're not locking the tires up. And those are little things that like he mentioned, you don't have the time in a race to be like, okay, here's an essay on how to use your brakes properly. And that it's like, you got to say it. And if it happens, fine. If not, you got to try again,
Mhm.
Yeah.
And,
Especially for 24 hours. Good Lord. I couldn't imagine.
Dude,
All
it
right,
was
so
brutal.
I think here's a great question that I've been thinking about this whole time. Are you going to do it again? Is Ava interested in doing another 24-hour race?
I'm definitely
I'll
interested.
be the driver.
You'll definitely want to have a car
All right.
when we're done.
Yeah. I'd definitely be interested. I don't know about 24 hours, but definitely 12 hours. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Why? Why 12 hours versus 24?
Because I feel like I know if it's 12 hours, it's shorter, so you're pushing harder, but there's more of a, I don't know. It just seemed like the 24 hours was just going on for so long that it was like, what are we even doing this for? Like, what's the point of this? Everybody's just driving around in this loop for 24 hours. It just feels like,
and she got to
Kind of
sleep
endless.
6 hours that night.
yeah.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting the same result.
You mentioned at the end of the video, the recap video, that there's going to be more racing in the future for the Lawrence 7. Is that true? And is it because it's like there's a difference between short course racing, I think, and then like this wood style racing or endurance races?
Yeah.
Does that feel more to you than short course?
I just like racing in general. So
What would be a race that you'd be interested in racing coming up? As a group, say have an Ava drive or
we're eyeing one in December.
okay.
It's in Oklahoma. We don't know all the details on it yet, but I think it's a 10-hour race.
So more of a long distance endurance style racing.
Yeah,
is
I think-
interesting.
The thing about short course is it's very, very fun. From where we're located, it's a long way away.
Yeah.
And the stakes are high at the track in the sense that at any one moment you can be done for the whole weekend. And so
Yep.
to invest that much time and practice and money into a car to go race short course and then be racing wheel to wheel with people, especially for younger drivers, it's a very intense thing and it's very high risk. And to be honest with you, it's low reward. I mean, it's just the reality of it right now. Look at the top short course guys out there right now. I mean, they're racing because they love it. It's just there's not that many people that are kind of making it pay for itself.
And do you really think that you could make any kind of race and pay for itself at this point? I mean, it's just come to the point where you're just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
And if I'm with you. I'm with you. I was just asking the question. I think he was as well. I'm with you. If I'm going to go race now, currently this time frame, I'm going to go race an IXCR or an endurance race or like a local Ultra 4, something where you're in the car for an extended period of time and you have the chance to fix it and you can have more fun with your friends. I would love to do more of an endurance race. I have an idea that I wanted to do it with a group of guy friends, and I'd like to change driver every lap.
That's interesting.
I'd like to change driver every single lap. Make it so that it's as quick as possible in and out.
Right.
Actually have everybody suited, ready to go, stand in pit, right, and just have a routine. Have a routine, and every lap you're coming in changing driver. Every lap,
Interesting.
and just go with that.
Yeah.
No matter, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. It has to be a different driver, but it could be like, say you drove, I hopped in and I come back and everybody else was like, no, I can't. You could get back in if you were ready to go. It doesn't matter necessarily the order, but start with an order and try to stick to it for as long as possible. And I'd like to change driver every single time.
That'd be a challenge.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 24 hours would be a lot more fun if you were doing one lap at a time.
Yeah.
I would pushing hard that lap.
I'd be able to push hard for one lap,
right?
Which would make up the time for the driver change.
For sure.
That's
I
true.
think it has some potential.
So kick that around. Kick that around. And I got a car that's one seat.
Ooh, nice. Does that have a truck body on it?
It could. Well, that would be even more fun. It could. But I would also like to where my head was going with that is I'd like to get drivers who have not necessarily driven a lot. Like I think you being a professional driver with a lot of skill would be great, and myself. But I'd like to bring along Chase and
Let's go.
Risky
That would be
Films
super
and some of
fun.
these guys that have come to the races for years, or are new to the races in general, but never been in a race car.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, here, Scotty just laid down a 24-minute lap time. See you, Chase. See what you got. You know what I mean? And then when he comes back in, be able to look at the footage, because we would have footage of the entire lap.
Yeah.
And if we have enough drivers, you'd have time to go, okay, here's where you need to pick it up. This would be a great spot for you and I as a teaching moment. They'd come in, we could watch the footage, be like, okay, you need to be on the throttle all the way into the corner, push all the way into the corner, and then brake, and then get back on the gas. And we can see where that progression goes. So you're starting
That's
with
the coolest thing about the Starstreamer setup was that we could always watch what the car was doing.
even better.
I
And
loved it in real time. That was pretty cool.
I think that would be a really cool test, because you'd be able to see where they started and then see their lap times at the end.
Oh,
Barring any car problems
or
stuff like
condition
that.
changes
Conditions,
or whatever.
sure.
But 100% with just some you can take a rookie driver, the guy that's never been in a side by side, and go let them do a lap, and then just give them 2 things to work on that lap, and it will make them instantly 10% faster.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of little things like that, so you can get to 90% pretty quick as far as top speed type things. It's that next 5% that's difficult, and then that last 5% is honestly not as much about skill as it is about knowing the car and the full limit that car can take, and then being able to drive that car right on the edge.
Yeah.
That's why guys like Brock Hager and Kyle are so impressive, because they know where that line is. And every now and then you see them bump past it and then come right back. And it's just operating at that max level for such a long time. And then when you need to dial it back 5%, you're still at 95%, and it's just like a cruise in the park. And there's other guys struggling just to get to that 90%. So there's a lot of separation at the top 5 people, I would say. After that, there's a lot of room for improvement for the next guys,
Yeah. And I like now, and I've probably said this too much on the podcast, but I've really enjoyed teaching. I've really come to cherish the moments of no, you're doing this wrong. Try this. And then watch them actually try it and be like, oh,
yeah,
like the aha moment. And they're like, holy cow, I get it. I've really liked that. And that's been in all sorts of different things, with dirt bikes and side by sides and drifting and whatever else that I'm into.
Yeah.
And it's happened with Chase and my other buddy, Chase Mankey. I've watched him start riding dirt bikes with me from the day one. He's been a dirt biker, in his past, but never had anybody help him with anything. And to see where he's come to now, he's really good. He's taken all that in, and he's actually a good rider. I enjoy going out and riding trails, and I feel confident that he can hit the hard obstacles, and I don't have to turn around and stop and coach him through it. And now he just does it. So I really want to do that. I'm really enjoying the teaching aspect of it.
For the record, I really enjoy the learning part. So
Most people
if you
do.
guys want to teach anything else, I'd be happy to learn for it.
Most people do.
Just put me down on the list.
So anyway, that's kind of what I've been kicking around as far as a long race, having five different drivers and rotating every lap. Because if you think about it, if it's a 30-minute lap and you have 5 different drivers, you got a decent break in between.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can catch your breath. Maybe you don't get the chest pain.
If you're talking about doing it with some rookie drivers, you might as well have a vehicle that has air conditioning.
Might as well have a vehicle. Here we go again.
Here we go.
Here we go
Can you
again.
think of any vehicles that have air conditioning?
I can think of a couple vehicles that have air conditioning, and we may or may not have been getting some traction with the whole Defender idea, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's been some phone calls been made. Yeah. Yeah, recently. As a matter of fact, I think I have a podcast coming up that I haven't even told you about yet, but we got to schedule some stuff with Mr. Dave Cole in the next few weeks. So, yeah,
Nice.
big fun stuff. My name's Steve. What's your name?
My name's Kai.
Oh, Kai. Okay. No, I'm kidding. It's Matt.
A pink girl car behind it.
I don't know. It's your dad's car. Ask him.
That's actually not my car.
Oh, it's not his car. Don't ask him.
It's just
It's
here.
Travis's.
Don't
Nope,
ask him.
not Travis's.
Well, either way, it was really fun to watch the video you guys did, and Chase did a killer job as usual on the video. It was a little long. I wish you could have shortened it up to like 10 minutes, but
No, it was fun. It was like a
24 hours
documentary.
of
no
stuff.
No, I'm just busting him up because I'm always telling him he makes the videos too long. But he did a really great job. To watch it on camera, I'm sure is, like always, doing no justice to
Yeah,
what it
that's
was
what I
like
was
being
gonna
there in
say.
person.
Happened.
Yeah.
You guys did an awesome
Like I was
job.
telling him, if you make it 2 minutes for every hour of the race, it's a 48-minute long video.
And that's kind of what it was.
That's
It's pretty close.
pretty much what it was.
Mhm.
Pretty close. It is a great video. So, again,
Oh, everyone should go watch it.
I was just gonna say, go watch the video on YouTube. 24 hours of what was it called? What was the title?
It's on the Glass Rock off-road
Tough
page.
probably-
Toughest
Was it? I can't
24
remember.
hours
Chase
side by
probably has a
side.
magic wand that he can make that little link appear.
I can.
Oh, pop the link up. There we go on the
What is
podcast.
that toughest?
No, he's good. He's good. It's no big deal. But either way, Scottie Lawrence, rival Can-Am here in Thornville, Ohio. Go check it out. And you guys have a bright future in all the things you guys are doing. I'm excited.
Yep.
We're always doing something wild. Always, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Always
There's never a
busy.
shortage. Glass Rock Off-Road. When's the next
Sure.
event, Scott?
First weekend in October.
First weekend in October, Off-Road Fest.
October 2, 3, and 4.
Wait, what's it called?
Glass Rock Off-Road Fest.
Off-Road Fest. That's right.
Yes.
I did get it right. I want to make sure I got that right before I
Let's
say
do
anything
the,
else.
is this the 4th year?
I don't even know.
Third?
2023, I think, was the first year, so this will be the
This will be the 4th year that we've had it.
Very cool.
4th annual.
That's right. 4th annual.
Wowzer.
Man, maybe that should go in the marketing
I
material.
think we're going to bring back the drag races this year.
Really?
yeah.
I
should be
think we're
excited.
going to have a knockout side-by-side race.
I love that he said that on the podcast.
And I think we're also going to make it, I came and visited you at Badlands.
Yeah.
And something that really stood out to me was like, because when you put on an event and you have a race or an activity, you want people to participate, I feel like when we have events sometimes and we do something or have a competition and like 6 people to participate, it's like being at that wedding where they have this huge DJ and massive sound system and lights, big dance floor, and there's like a 6-year-old and grandma out on the dance floor. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
when we put effort in to have an event, we want people to participate. So what's the obstacle? And it honestly comes down to this. So something that Badlands does is makes no entry fee. You basically show up, sign up, and have fun.
Mhm.
So yeah, this year we're going to do no entry fee for the drag races and no entry fee for the knockout races. Because we want maximum participation. And then, we'll throw some money down for the winner. It's not going to be huge. This isn't.
Unless
You
it
know.
is. Hey, we could reach out to local businesses to support
Yeah,
it.
but I mean, there'll be a little bit of money available. It's not King of Hammers. We're not going to shaft
Yeah.
everyone. So, got to give the competitors a little something.
Right. Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. I've had so much fun watching all these people compete, especially people that wouldn't necessarily compete because they didn't want to have to spend a bunch of money to sign up,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Watching these guys who are mostly trail riders come out
Mhm.
and be able to throw down with their buddy and have a little side bet. Like, that's the best part about
Yeah.
it,
You like running equipment, don't you?
I do.
You should
I
come up and help us build this knockout track.
say less.
Wait, I don't know what a knockout track is or a knockout side by side.
Stay tuned. You'll find out.
What?
You could Google it.
Do you know what that is?
Of course I do.
Chase.
I'm Chase Gilroy.
All
Chase
right.
was involved in the Badlands knockout.
Yeah, the
course.
Badlands knockout track. That's the only reason I know about it.
And I know the
Okay.
guy who built that course.
You do?
It's him. It's that guy. It's just
Shocker.
a 2-lane track.
Yeah,
Two separate lanes.
It's basically a drag race, but with turns and jumps, 2 lanes.
Okay.
So you don't go wheel to wheel with your competitor.
Yeah.
We were talking
That
about
sounds
making
pretty
it to
fun.
where it's like a course, but we have a start line on this side and a start line on this side, and you race through the whole thing, and you have to get back to your start line. So you're still covering the ground, the same terrain as the other competitor. And then we'll make it so that the finishes are somewhat equal, you know, whatever. But the reality is you have the same course. You're just starting in a different spot.
Yeah.
It's not going to completely eliminate wheel-to-wheel racing because some people are going to get in trouble, and that'll be exciting. But I think that's kind of the way I'm leaning. I've got about 3 different versions of the track in my head, and we'll see what comes of it.
I love it.
So, yeah.
I love it. Anytime we can go outside of the box, I'm interested. I'm interested in all ideas. And I have some ideas myself.
I think we should have a golf cart class too.
I'd be happy to you know, haven't said this on the podcast much, but one of the biggest races that I put on every year, and it's not me anymore. I started the whole race. Now my buddy Al has since taken it over since I'm gone so much, but I still attend, is our tractor race. We have a big tractor race every year, and it is an absolute it's the most fun I have all year long. So just keep that in mind. If you want to have the most fun you can have for under a couple
saying we
$100
should spring garden tractor racing to Glass Rock Off-Road Fest?
Dude, if you had a endurance style garden tractor race at Glass Rock, I am all in.
You'd be surprised how many homies have
I'll bet you
racing
they do,
garden
yeah.
tractors in Perry County.
Yeah.
I promise you.
You'd have a huge
Bring them out.
Or they'd make them. They would make
Perry County used to be the capital of the world when it comes to garden tractor drag racing.
Really?
No, but I just thought it sounded good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sound good.
It's a stat.
You did great.
Yeah.
Convinced
I thought you were
guys.
legit for a second.
Yeah.
It works 60% of the time, all the time. Dude, well, we're up to about an hour and 20 minutes.
That's what I got on my
Let's
counter
do
right
this
here.
then. Let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you'd like to touch on the 24-hour race? Obviously, all girls team. You guys killed it. What did you end up finishing?
I think we got 8th place.
8th place is
Technically first
Fantastic.
place because our goal was to finish and we finished. So technically first place.
first in your mind.
That's one way to look at it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I just want to say I'm really proud of Ava to get back in that race car and do something that she's never done before from a different class because she did kart. Was it karts?
Yeah, I did short course karts like in the Champ Off-Road series for, I think it was a total of 4 years. It was like
Something like that,
2018 to 2021. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
I was really proud to see you get in there, and I thought it was really cool to see your dad be able to do that with you.
Yeah.
And one day I hope to do something equally as cool with my daughter. So it's just really heartwarming to watch that.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Scott, Ava, Chase,
Yes, sir.
thanks for having me out to Ohio. I'm actually really excited to be here, and it's been a lot of fun getting back on the podcast and hearing about your adventures.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do it again.
Thanks for
man.
coming out.
Thanks
Yeah.
for coming.
Well, it's not over. We're going to have some more fun.
Yeah.
So, all right. Scott, Ava, Chase, see you guys later.
Bye.